If you are sitting in a college dorm room right now, wondering what your future looks like, this is the episode for you. This guest today is going to walk you through what he did to earn $20,000 on his first wholesale deal. My name is Ryan Haywood. I've been wholesaling for 5 years and I've done over 425 deals.
My name is David Lecco, and I created the software platform DealMachine. A lot of house flippers and wholesalers use to find really great real estate deals. In fact, we've helped over 10,000 deals get closed by real estate investors like Dawson and like you. So Dawson, tell me, what did you make on your first wholesale deal?
So actually, it was very interesting. I was on a dialer. I was in my college dorm room, cold calling, right? And so I set up a dialer, and I had that, and then I was virtual, so I got the appointment. Had a good trusted friend that I had go over to the property. And then what happened was we ended up getting it locked up. Within 30 days, it was a $20K wholesale fee, and I JV'd with him, so I took 10.
20K, that's awesome. But I did like that you JV'd with him because, I mean, that means joint venture. You found the deal, but you used him to help sell the deal to his list of buyers, right?
Yep. Just because I was young, I mean, I was 19 at the time. I'm 21 now. So it was something where I had zero real estate experience whatsoever. So I knew that leverage was in the leads, right? So if you have the lead, you'll get rid of it somehow, right? If it's good enough.
Yeah. Kind of remarkable that you did that during college, where most people are trying to figure out how can they go on dates? How could they have more fun partying? What motivated you to start making cold calls in your dorm room? And did your friends think you were really weird for doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm still really good friends with my college roommate at the time. And we actually spoke about this recently about the past, and I would be cold calling while he was gone. There was a study room that I would go to and things like that, parties going on in the hallways and stuff like that. But what was so awesome about it, so I graduated high school, and I was like, I want to start making some money, but I have like 2 months till I go to college. How can I make some money? And it was couch flipping, right? So then I came upon couch flipping, and so then I sold like 100 couches. I crushed it in that. So then I was like, okay, how do I do this with real estate, right?
How much can you make on a couch flip?
So pretty much what I did was I found sectional couches. So I'd pull them for free, $50, $100 off of Facebook, and I'd sell them for $500-$600. So it was a pretty big spread. And I would do and I was doing this virtually in college as well. Keep in mind, to pay for my marketing spend.
How'd you pick up the couch?
So I had a junk removal guy that I would call, and I paid him $50, $75 to go get the couch, and he'd put it in a garage where I would store it. And then I would pay a guy, like my neighbor, to come over, take pictures of it, and then I would post on Facebook while I'm in class or whatever, and get rid of it. And then I would pay him for somebody to come pick it up. So it was pretty sweet. But I ended up doing quite a few of those, and I was like, well, wholesaling is almost the same idea, because the main business in couch flipping was getting a good deal of a couch, right? And so I was like, well, real estate's kind of the same thing. The main business is the marketing and sales of getting a good deal, right? And whatever the good deal for definition of a lot of people could mean a lot of different things, residential house, farmland, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But for me,
the main difference is you didn't send mail saying, do you want to sell your couch? You looked on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
But you're saying you do marketing now for houses.
Yep, exactly. So, and a lot of our marketing, it helps a lot. So we do, like, a big one for us is organic SEO. We do cold calling, texting. We don't really do much mail. We do a little bit of Google PPC. Well, we're very cost effective, I would say, because this year we've done already 60 deals this year in our backyard market. So I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's a 250,000 people metro market. And so we crush this market as far as all of that, but it also keeps us grounded, because we're only spending probably $3,000 a month or so. So we like to be very cost effective with that side of things.
What do you spend it on?
So
the text messaging?
Yeah, I mean, most of our expenses come from cold calling and texting. And then really there's not much else, because a lot of the money we spend is outbound, because organic SEO for us that crushes it, does a lot of our deals as well. We pay less than $100 a month for. We do foreclosures, pre-foreclosures. We're very, very avid about pre-foreclosures, and we pay nothing for that.
Because that's a list that you can get straight from the courthouse, and typically they'll post stuff on a cork board, right? I mean, or maybe online, but what do you do then for free there? Do you knock on their doors?
Right. So we get a lot of our data actually. So there's some law firms that are in our area that have the data before it goes to the courthouse. And there's also some other softwares you can use, free softwares that can pull court cases in that area from mortgage companies. So we'll go
Yeah.
and
Oh,
pull
what are
that.
they? Just like the website for the courts?
Yep. So usually it varies through every market because every market is different as far as what law offices handle them, right? So that's something where if you go in and find out who does all the law offices for the foreclosures in your area, that's something you'd be
Oh.
able to find pretty good. So
So you're saying that your county contracts with a certain law firm,
Yep.
and you found that out. Okay.
Yep.
How
Yep.
did you
So
find that out?
Well, if you go, I mean, there's a lot of sites you can go to, like auction.com. You can go in there and see, okay, what law office is handling this. There's some different ones, random, but usually there's probably one law office in your area that's handling most of them, and you're like, okay, so we need to try to get in with this law office and see what we can do here. So that was
Got
a
it.
big part of it too.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So of the $3,000 in marketing, how many deals would you maybe do from that?
Like as far as
How many deals do you do per month?
we're doing, I mean, we're doing probably around 10 a month right now. From
All
3,000
from
a month.
3,000 in marketing.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Now you guys are mostly you're not doing this locally. So how do you come up with like offers when you're not going on an appointment, right?
So we're actually we only do our deals just in our backyard. We don't do anything virtually.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So we
you
do go
on. Awesome. So what's the process of coming up with your offer? What does that look like?
Yeah, so kind of what happens is we'll go on the appointment. Obviously, once you get the lead, you vet them out a little bit, see if they're serious. Go on the appointment, and you meet up with them and pretty much check out the condition. Explain to them, hey, what do you need, right? Because a big part of our business is just understanding, you know what, if we're not the best fit for you, because a lot of people who are motivated sellers, they usually have a time constraint or a severe life event that's like, oh, I need money like now, right? And there's times where you can tell that, and if it's not a vibe we're picking up, we're like, here's the deal: we have 3 doors that we can have here. We have realtors we can refer you to. We have cash offer we can make. What do you want, right? And then they're like, okay, well, I just need to get out of this. Okay, here's the deal. This is what we're thinking. This is what we would have to pay to fix it up. This is what we think it would sell for after it's all fixed up. And obviously, we got to make some money too. We're very honest with people, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen it almost works a little bit better. But as far as actually coming up with the offer, yeah, just knowing your market, what things are going for in that neighborhood, seeing what the repair cost would be, and then knowing what you want to make on it is very in simple terms.
Hey guys, if you know you want to quit your job in the next 3 months, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast because we've got some incredible frameworks with step-by-step instruction that you're not going to want to miss. Also, leave us a rating and review to let us know your favorite parts and why you want to get financial freedom.
Amazing. I love that you share with them even what you're going to make, because it really lets their guard down because you're being very transparent about that. I love that. Big fan of that. Glad that's working so well for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're trying to build a brand here, and I would say we already do, but we try to build a good brand here, a good word of mouth, and you'd be surprised at how many even referral leads we get just from that. I mean, we've probably done 5-10 deals this year already from previous sellers who are like, hey, my uncle, my grandma, and also you'd be very shocked on how referrals in this business can go a long way.
For sure.
That's the strength of being local. That's what I like about being local too, is that the word of mouth marketing, it's free marketing. It's just building relationships.
For sure. Definitely appreciate being local as well. It's a great place to start. Helps you learn your market better and get that face-to-face time and to build that rapport. But I was curious on your first deal, how long did that take, by the way? How many calls would you say you made from your dorm room?
Oh gosh. Because it started where I think a lot like people, I was hand dialing, right? And straight up going to Google Maps, and doing that all really inefficient stuff, right? And then actually I had DealMachine, so awesome. So I had DealMachine, and then what I did was I pulled some lists, was hand dialing lists, and I was like, gosh, the list is awesome, but the hand dialing just isn't working. So I would go for the first hour of the day, I'd go through DealMachine, pull a list, and then I'd use a dialer. So then I was like, okay, now I can call, 5 people at a time instead. And I would just constantly do that because I really couldn't afford data. I mean, yeah, I had the couch money and stuff like that, but I was spending it on honestly really stupid stuff like a lot of mailers and a lot of whatever. So hence of why our business looks the way it does today. But yeah, so I was on a dialer. It took, I don't know, I would say probably 2 months to get that first one, but it was very consistent. It was a matter of like me 2 hours a day sitting down every day doing that. So it just took a lot of consistency for sure.
Got it. Yeah, so we launched the dialer obviously in July 1st. And
nice.
We just took a look at some of the high level numbers. So I was wondering how it compares to your specific example. So there were 108,000 properties called with an appointment set rate of 0.25. And so really a new person, if they want to get a deal or they want to, get something like that done, they really need to call like 1,000 people. And
Right.
if they basically just call 600, which seems like a lot. I mean, that's not a small amount of calls, but if they get 600 calls and then they stop and say, oh, this doesn't work for me, they just didn't do enough. So that was kind of why I wanted to ask you, how does that compare to you?
Yeah, I mean it's a big numbers game for cold calling, right? And as far as like our dialers, I've used a variety of different ones. It's just more of what fits your style best. But obviously I have VAs now that do it for me. So the current one that I have does pretty decent. I mean, we probably get a good 150, 200 conversations a day. So and that's people that are actually telling you no, or
Right.
yes, right? And so it's one of those things where it just depends, but a lot of it is a numbers game as far as how many dials you make. But right now, yeah, it's pretty basic, nothing too
How
crazy.
many calls to make a deal, would you say? How many
Oh
calls do you guys
gosh.
do to get those 10 deals?
Oh gosh, I mean, for cold calling specifically, I would say our KPIs right now are probably 3,100. I think right now is our KPIs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. Cool.
absolutely.
So yeah, anybody listening to this, just to give you guys a realistic number, and you could do 3,000 calls, right? So if you do 30 calls a day for 2 months, then you're going to be over 1,000. I think that's how that works. Yeah. So just to help somebody break down what type of work they need to do, and 20,000 and your half being 10,000 on an assignment fee, that's pretty good. It's pretty good
Yeah.
for a first deal. So good
No, I
on you
was
for
shocked.
partnering with somebody that, really helped you sell that quickly. It's better to
Absolutely.
do that and split it halfway than to get no deal because you couldn't sell it.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people make a mistake right away is their ego just kind of takes over and they're like, oh, I need to get every cent. I need to suck every ounce of water out of the stone. It's like, well, you don't know anything about real estate yet, or at least I didn't. And so it's one of those things where it was the best situation. I'm like, exactly what you said, just getting money that I wouldn't have got previously. So
now in your own business, do you do all those deals yourself or do you still have a partner or some sort?
Yep. So it's me and my business partner just because of the day-to-day stuff. Like right now he's out managing the 7 flips we have going around and doing all that stuff. So obviously I handle pretty much the marketing. He handles all pretty much the day-to-day, the appointments, the flips and things like that.
Cool. Nice. Good division of work there, and having clarity on that is very important when you're working with somebody.
Absolutely.
What are your goals to take the business to next?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, we have this market very tied down as far as we know it like the back of our hand. We have connections here that work really well. We work with nationwide wholesalers who also get deals here, who are trying to dispo them as well instead of putting them on Investor Lift or whatever. Some do, some don't, but we end up working with them as well. So it's something where we're honestly probably for now sticking with our current market just with the workload that we have. But it's something where we're looking to expand as far as the business goes in a marketing standpoint, because we like to preach, obviously, like I did before, about keeping your marketing spend very cheap and efficient, right? And a big part of that for us was organic SEO for real estate investors specifically. And so that's something where the business that we're kind of venturing now into is basically I have multiple real estate investors across the country that I'm working with now doing their website. And so that's something that we're looking to scale up as far as the marketing aspect goes, instead of the actual like day-to-day wholesaling stuff goes. So that's kind of where we're expanding right now.
You've definitely figured a lot out by getting a lot of squeeze from a small amount of marketing. So I'm glad that you're able to help other investors do that. Now, would you recommend a brand new investor come see you for that? or would it be somebody who's already got a lot of traction and wants to take the next step?
No, that's a great question. I tell this a lot because I do talk with a lot of other real estate investors, 18, 19-year-old kids who are like, oh my gosh, you're my ticket. You're my get rich quick ticket. I'm like, no, man, I'm not, So it's one of those things where I tell people, get at least 3 to 5 deals, and get a consistent basis where you have a funnel, you have some cold calling, you have a little bit of a diverse portfolio of marketing, right? Because SEO, it's not for beginners, right? It's a very long-term play. It's a play where if you're looking down, okay, I want to be the top on Google in a year or in 6 months, perfect. And you're like, I want to be in this business for the next 5 years. SEO is for you, right? And you know how to do deals and you have connections. Just because even with SEO, you put all that time and energy into it, and you don't know how to even work a lead or do any of those deals with it. What's the point of putting all that time into it? So that's what I preach a lot with organic SEO. So that's a great question.
Awesome. Where on social media can people find you, Dawson? I know you have djsinvesting.com, I think was your domain or something like that for on the investment side.
Yep. So if you go to my Instagram, it's just Dawson, DAWSON _SKOR on Instagram. Feel free to give me a follow or DM me if you have any questions related to real estate. I always love helping people. So you can get a hold of me there. But if you want to check out my website as well, I'm with Sioux Empire Home Buyers in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming today. You win the award for the greatest amount of value from the least amount of marketing, I'm pretty sure, at scale on the DealMachine podcast. So thank you so much. It's going to be episode 192, and appreciate you being here to share that, Dawson. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys too.
Thanks for listening to the DealMachine Real Estate Investing Podcast. Please leave us a review and follow along wherever you're listening to your podcast.